Tuesday, April 4th, 2017, Monaco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. I'd like to do an update, early market update, talk about precious metals, the stock market, bond market, cryptocurrencies, currencies, and the dollar. It's almost 8 a.m. London time, so 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Still quite early, but the markets are moving a little bit this morning. I'll start with gold. We're at $12.57, so up $4, right near the highs. The high is $12.58, the low $12.53. So we're continuing to see a good move early on in the week. So gold continuing its upward trend that we've seen in the last few weeks. Silver, as I said last week, has led the way. Earlier, yesterday it kind of lagged behind gold, but now it's starting to pick up. We're making a new high here compared to last week, up 7 cents at 18.33. The high is 18.35. Actually, right now we just traded there. What else? The stock market, the Dow is down about 46 at 20,600. S&P down about 5 at 2353. Yesterday, again, we saw a good rally in the stock market at the end of the day. The Dow at one point, though, was down over 100 points, and it only finished down 13. But it looks like we're starting to see some cracks in the Dow or in the stock markets in general. Dollar index is fairly steady, basically unchanged this morning at 100.56. As for the individual currencies, the pound continuing to get hit here. We're above 126 at the end of last week. We're now 124.30, down 50 pips this morning, or down 0.4%. Euro is a little weaker, but not that much. It's 106.55, only down 14 pips. The dollar is weaker against the yen, though. The carry trade currency of the yen, it's quite important to keep an eye on that. Dollar down 0.5% against the yen at 110.40. A lot of speculators, investors, they borrow in yen. Historically, they have, because interest rates there have been so low for so long. They borrow in that currency to speculate in other assets. So when the yen is going up, it hurts that trade because they want the yen to stay weak because they've borrowed in that currency. That's why it's important to keep an eye on that. If the dollar yen continues, the dollar continues to go down with the yen, that could be a sign of that the markets, overall markets are starting to turn, and maybe the stock market is going to get weaker. What else? Well, the cryptocurrencies mixed. Of course, Bitcoin has done very well the last few days. This morning we are almost at 1,150. We're right now off CoinDesk 1,148. The high has been 1155. So it didn't take long for Bitcoin to rebound from that drop earlier, in the last week or so. Ethereum, which we've been following a little bit here, is starting to move lower. We did get back, we were above 52 towards the end of March, and now we're starting to correct down, which is not surprising because it gained a lot in the last month, and we're now at 43, 47. What else? The bond markets. Well, just before the Fed hiked their rates in March, the 10-year yield got up to 262, very near that key resistance level, 263 in terms of yields. And that had been the high yield last year. But ever since then, it's gone down, the yield, and the prices of bonds have gone up. Because right now we're at 233, and market is trying to tell the Fed, if you keep raising rates too many times, this economy is going to keel over. prediction for GDP for the first quarter is already, being revised down by a few of the Fed banks, St. Louis, Atlanta Fed. I think they're looking at an annual GDP of 0.9 or 1%. So yeah, the Fed might hike rates in June, but maybe they're setting themselves up so they can cut if there's a recession that they probably know is happening. So when they come out and say that the economy is doing well and everything, I think they're not being totally honest. So let's say they hike again in June up to 1%, and then something happens, the economy starts slowing down, they'll blame something else, and they're going to say, oh, we're going to have to stop hiking. It wasn't our fault because this and this happened. Trump did this. It's led to a slowdown in the economy. We're actually going to have to cut. We're going to have to start doing QE again. Maybe. I don't know. But that's how they operate. They never blame themselves for anything. So, yeah. In terms of levels, we need to see for gold to really maybe unshackle itself from this constant pressure, downward pressure we see, from the bullion banks. There is they do control the gold price, the central banks, the bullion banks. We need to break through 1264. That might, put the cats amongst the pigeons, so to speak. Silver, 1850 is the key level. We're not too far. We're at 1258 right now in gold, and silver at 1835. So then it's moving the right way. Important data this week will be on Friday, the non-farm payroll data in the US. What else? No, that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk about. Just a quick update. Precious metals seem to be doing fairly well early on this morning, but there's still a long way to go until the US comes in. So if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. And if you'd like to donate to my channel, there's some links below in the description. And thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.